Hello and welcome to this taste challenge. We have two 12-year-old aged blend Scotch whiskies. And we have the Dewar's 12-year, produced under a royal warrant for Queen Elizabeth II of Great Britain and Canada and so on. It says married in oak cask. Aged in hand-selected reserve cask for 12 years, this whiskey has long been admired as the Ancestor selected oak cask. Dewar's and Sons Limited, gold prize, 500 medals, beautiful bottle, $48.99. Total one or more. Oh yeah, I need to check the price on the competitor, see if they match. I have a feeling they do. Here's the competitor. The company founded in 1801. Chivas Brothers, Prince of Whiskies, they claim. They're showing a man on a horse with a sword, defending his right to be the Prince of Whiskies. Age 12 years. There was, the original Chivas Regal was a 25-year age. It was like 90 proof, but during Prohibition, it went away, and then they brought it back in 1938 as a 12-year age. 86.6 proof. Now it's 80 proof. Michael Komarov has an old bottle from the 90s that's 86.6. He'll probably never drink it. There's a write-up on the back, but it's too much glare. I can't see it. That's all I got left. We're at the end of the road for the Chivas Regal, I'm afraid. All right, here we go. $60.99. And the handle. $61 basically. And the Dewar's is $49. So $12 difference. Is the Chivas Regal really $12 better than Dewar for the same size, handle bottle? I would not agree with that. I don't think Chivas Regal is as good. I think it's blander, but I'll pour them and taste them, and then I'll see what the company says about it because I can't remember. Foil cap, and it's a twist cap, no cork, plastic twist cap. So it is what it is. There's some water in the glasses. It's a nice bottle, kind of unique. It is a unique bottle. James Jonah Chivas. There's not enough for another challenge. That's it. We're finishing it off right here and now. That's it. Metal cap. Also a twist cap, plastic cap. And remember, $12 difference. Talking about for the handle. What's the difference for the 750? I don't know. I'll check. So long, Chivas Regal. Been kind of nice knowing you. Matthew says, interesting matchup. Thank you. FD said, this should be a good matchup. I think so. It's even. 12 versus 12. They're both amber. I'm going with the Chivas 12, but you never know with Dewar's. Dewar's has been tricky so far, a little difficult. sort of aggravating, actually. Let's see here. $25.99 for the regular size bottle. Beautiful bottle. So 20, let's round off, $26. So $26.32. So $6 difference for the regular bottle, $12 difference for the big boy bottle. Oh, well, that makes sense. Same, double. All right. Now, I know before I taste it, I wouldn't pay $12 more for Chivas Regal, because, or I wouldn't pay $6 more if I was getting a regular bottle, because I don't think it's that good. It's bland. It's not bad. It doesn't taste bad. Like when I taste it, I don't say, oh gosh, that tastes bad. No, I just say, oh golly, that doesn't really have any taste. Okay, let's go with the nose. Seems like a rich honey top sour lee white bread. You know, the sour lee honey top. That must be the Dewar's 12. Let's go over here. Smells like vacancy. You say vacancy. You say, you mean like you can't evict people until October 3rd? Well, you know, I'll give you $100 if you can show me where the Constitution says the U.S. government has power to tell people they can't evict people. You won't win that money, though. You say, well, that's illegal if they do something that's not delegated to them. Exactly. But empires, you know, they operate illegally like a bunch of gangsters. You say, but I'm proud to be da, 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 da. We're so much luckier than those people in Switzerland with their landlocked country. Okay, we're the best country in the world. We're exceptional. I read that National Review. I know it must be true. William F. Buckley said it. He's my favorite Trotskyite of all time. But getting back to planet Earth and other realities. Somebody asked me on Facebook, did I think the Earth was round? I said, well, of course the Earth is round. Why would you think it's not round? Give me a break. Go to a Chinese restaurant and get a plate. It's round. You know, the plate they give you with the food, it's round too. I know my shapes. I went to preschool. All right. Well, I'm going to call it on aroma only. That's the Dewar's 12 year. It's got much more aroma. Ha, ha, ha. Toot, 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 toot. Get on the Scotch train. The Scotch train. I got it. I did 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 it. Oh, I'm so happy. But you know what? I'm not blaming it on the rain. I'm blaming it on the production of the product. Dewar's 12 has a much more pronounced flavor. Now let's see if it's a better flavor. So I got it right on aroma only, aroma only. And I wasn't able to do that in taste challenges against much cheaper stuff. So that's got me nervous. That's got me worried. That's got me perplexed. That's got me confused. Not to mention discombobulated. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's got that telltale heart. I can hear it beating through the wall. The Dewar's 12 year has that very noticeable honey top bread flavor. It has a touch of peat. It has a touch of smoke. Oh no, it's not smoky, and oh no, it's not peaty. On a scale of 1 to 100, it's 2% smoky and peaty and 98% not smoky and peaty. But it's there. It's there. It's there. It's like that winged monkey's cap in the Wizard of Oz movie from 1939 in Technicolor. It's in the movie. Somebody told me I never noticed that. I said it's in there, and she's holding it, and she slings it across the room. Believe me, if I tell you the moon's made out of cheese, brain crackers, I'm telling you. I said the only way she could control the winged monkeys, what some people call the flying monkeys, but that name is the winged monkeys. The only way she could control the winged monkeys is to wear that cap. And I can't remember how she got the cap. Some kind of way, it was some complicated thing where how she got it. And not only did she have to wear it, she couldn't just wear it. She had to do an incantation, which involved standing on one leg and hopping around a certain amount of time and saying things, saying a certain formula. So, just like the cap in the Wizard of Oz, the silver jeweled winged monkey controlling cap, which is why the monkey clapped when the witch was dead, because he knew that she couldn't control him anymore because she didn't have the cap. Well, I mean, she had the cap, but she was dead. She couldn't use it. Nina Yordi says, Scotch. Just like that cap was in the movie, and it was fleeting, the peat and the smoke is in this whiskey, but it's so not really there. It's there, but only 2% there. 98% not there. Now let's go to the Chivas. All right. It's got a grain alcohol bite. It's like that cat that lives on my porch that wants to scratch me. I say, I'll kill you. I'll kill you. But I really don't want to kill it now because I just bought a bunch of cat food, and that would be a waste. I bought the cheap cat food, but it claims that it meets 100% of the whatever that organization's requirements are. I bought the other cheap one from Family Dollar. Cat seems to love it. Anyway, but if the cat scratched me, that would be painful. This is scratching my taste buds. It's not pleasant. Now, the company Chivas says because blended is better in life. I don't know what they mean by that. And in whiskey. That's what their tagline is. Because blended is better in life. I guess you could live sometimes in the country and sometimes in the city. I guess that's what they mean. You could be a country mouse and a city mouse, and in Scotch. Now that they're throwing bait out there to try to get people to react. They're flaming the single malt people by saying blended is better in Scotch. But of course, it won't cause a controversy because no single malt Scotch fans are going to be bothering to read the Chivas Regal website anyway. And secondly, it's funny because Chivas Brothers makes all sorts of single malt Scotch whiskeys like the Glenlivet, so it's comical. Like Karen said in Goodfellas, it's funny. It's funny, you know. So I mean, it just tastes like grain alcohol with a little bit of scotchy flavor. And I gotta say this to you very frankly. I can buy a $7 bottle of American blended whiskey from Missouri that'll taste like grain alcohol with a little bit of bourbon flavor. And it won't be too great, but it'll only be $7 or less. True story. Oh, yes, I have my little connections to buy very cheap stuff. But you say, what connections? Who are you talking to? Oh, I mean, I just go to different stores and see what they have. That's my connection. But why would I ever dream of paying $30.99 for something that tastes like grain spirits with a touch of Scotch blended in? It's probably an 80-20 blend, 80% grain spirits and 20% single malts of whatever source. It's pretty shabby for what you pay. I scored it a 90 initially, and I think it's been dropping. That's a bad sign when you start with 90 and it goes down every time you try it. Let's see what the website says, because that website is elaborate. You could spend hours looking at that. They bragging here, they bragging there, they bragging everywhere about how it's the most greatest, awesomest thing ever. Chivas Regal 12. Chivas, it says smooth, rich, and generous. Well, generous? How is that? I had to pay $35 for it. Is it rich? It's rich in the wrong ways. It's rich with grain whiskey, grain spirits. That is not the richness I'm looking for. Chivas 12 is a classic for a reason. I'm reading the website. Made up of the finest malt and grain Scotch whiskeys, this 12-year-old blended Scotch whiskey is our signature blend and never fails to deliver. Oh, is that so? Because because success is a blend in life and in Scotch. Iconic Speyside flavors lie at the core of our signature 12-year-old blend. Yeah, you could tell it's Speyside because it don't have a whole lot of flavor. Speyside is like the what you will call it, the mass appeal single malt. No problem with that, but you know, crisp. It's not too challenging. Crisp orchard fruits. I love reading these things. Crisp orchard fruits. Really? Wild heather. I've never eaten wild heather, of course. And sweet honey are the result of years of craft at the hands of our master blenders. Over the years, they've maintained the classic taste created in the 19th century by the pioneers of blended Scotch whiskey founders John and James Chivas. And then they basically go on with the same thing, except they say, within the 12-year-old Scotch whiskeys that go into our signature blend, you'll find Strathisla. Looks like Strathisla. Single malt. Strathisla. I think that's a distillery. Strathclyde, single grain. Strathclyde, I think that's a grain distillery. And more to create a whiskey that's remarkably smooth. I'm obviously missing the boat on this. Tasting notes. A variety of casks are used for maturation of the 12-year-old Scotch whiskeys that make up this blend, but they don't tell you what the casks are. The nose, an aromatic infusion of wild herbs, heather, honey, and orchard fruits. Okay, I don't see that. Palate. Ramp. It looks like a big fireworks display going off in the drawing. Round and creamy with a rich taste of honey and ripe pears, along with vanilla, hazelnut, and butterscotch notes, and a rich and lingering finish. Oh, man. But I don't taste any of that. I just do not. And I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, Chivas brothers, because the 100 Pipers, I like it. The 100 Piper. I'm not saying it's as fancy pants as you claim it is, but I got it for cheap. I paid $8.99 a bottle, and it has a lot of nice little flavors, and it's just as smooth as this one I paid $35 for, or it might have been $32.99. I think I got it on a little deal at Walmart. But you talking about how great it is, I'm not picking that up. And maybe I'm deficient or defective in some kind of way. I'm sure your distillery master would point that out to me, and maybe he knows more than me because I'm not catching on to that. I'm sorry, I cannot help it. King of the Dots, Gary says, I just ate some okra because Ron won't. I eat okra. I bought some cheapo deluxe Grand Mac Nish yesterday. Very satisfying, generous with heather tones. Well, I've never had Grand Mac Nish. I think I had Grand McNuggets once, but they don't make that anymore. Little bit early to be boozing it up. Yeah, you should have seen me at 5:30. Should have seen me at 5:30 because that was the first day's challenge. Fact and bull fiction is one of the great adventures of youth. Learning what is good and not forcing yourself to be with the crowd. I've been banned from a lot of crowds, Gary. I got canceled from the English beer drinking crowd because, well, not all of them, but the main knitting circle, because they found out that our political ideology doesn't exactly match. And they, they're very open-minded. They're so open-minded that they will never associate with anybody who doesn't have 100% agreement with their obvious British Labour Party outlook on life. Well, okay, no hard feelings. But I remember 5 years ago, all their comments on my videos. I just love your videos. Great review, guy. Great review. And I was like, wow, we're like a big family. We're like a big cross-Atlantic family. Such is our fantasy. But so don't worry. And I got banned from an American clique. Why was that? I didn't 100% agree with their beer buying ideology. And they don't tolerate deviationist thinking because being a Maoist beer drinking clique, they will not tolerate deviation. So, but here, cheers to this channel because y'all found a free enterprise channel, a free thinker channel. And that's a benefit. You won't get banned for disagreeing. You won't get blocked for disagreeing, and you won't get canceled for disagreeing. You might get lectured. I might have to make a video telling you how you're wrong, but I won't do it in an impersonal and hurtful way. And in fact, remember this, folks, I've got the best bargain on the internet. If you disagree with things I say, you have 30 minutes free. 30 minutes free to state your opinion, no matter how ridiculous it may be. Uninterrupted, and that's a bargain. That's what the Who said in 1971. That's the bargain. The best I ever had. So you can't sneeze at that. And I don't know anybody's channel that offers such a bargain. Any other channel. Okay. More information, more disclosure. I did not pay $48.99 for Dewar's 12, the normal price. No. I paid $14.99 for this huge bottle. You say you're lying. I see why you got canceled and kicked out of those fabulous cliques. Because you lie. No, I'm not lying. I did pay $14.99 for this bottle. This huge, beautiful bottle. I love the bottle. I paid exactly $14.99 plus tax. It cost me $16.44 after tax. I think taxes are too high. If I was the president of the United States, I would be the taxpayer's friend. Would I do a better job as president of the United States than the last few people we've had? Certainly I would. Would I handle Afghanistan better? Much better. Would I handle the economy better? It wouldn't be too difficult to do better. But yeah, it would be much better, of course. You say, what about social issues? You'd be amazed. Well, any issue you could ever conceive, I would do a better job. And I'm serious about that. Do I have a good chance of being elected president of the United States? I wouldn't say I have a very good chance, but I have a chance. I could take a shot in my arm and have a chance of not contracting an illness. But apparently that it's not a good chance because I know people, oh, she got it and now she has it. And he got it and now he has it. And she got it and now she has it. I keep hearing this every day. Isn't that strange? The most reliable shot in the world. And it's safe too. Strange. It's a weird thing. Strangest thing. Now you might be saying you're being negative. I'm not being negative. If somebody said this is the best and safest birth control pill in the world, and every time the lady took it, she got pregnant, and then that woman took it and got pregnant, and that woman, you say, well, hell, everybody that takes it gets pregnant. You might perhaps question the reliability of that pill, but I know what you're going to say. That's how you right-wing people think. Everything's got to be about reliability and validity. Reliability and validity. It's not about that. It's about helping your fellow man. Can't you understand that? Yeah. But I'm one of those weirdos that let things like logic get in the way. But, you know, that is a weakness. Let's see the comments, shall we? I can see better when I have my glasses on from a distance. And if I'm up close, I'm blind as a bat. I was trying to read tags at a grocery store this morning. I didn't know what I was looking at until I took my glasses off, and there I could read them fine. But I'm not that close right now, you know. You're still the best because I say so. Generally, as a commenter, I get banned, and at least once a month, I've learned to live with it. You get banned, Gary? I don't believe it. The internet has only made people with thin skin get thinner skin. Right. It's turned baby cry into really bad baby cry. I've noticed that on Facebook, especially. Oh, these people, they are just incessant posters. They post about this, they post about that, they post about all these things. And you had better never disagree in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or they're going to get you. They're going to come and get you, and they're going to block you, and they're going to tell you why you are a Hitler supporter. And I thought it was Facebook, but apparently I was wrong. The name of that social media platform is called Baby Cry. It's called Baby Cry. Better to have thin blood than thin skin, my motto. I agree. When I took my blood pressure last month, it was 117. No, what am I saying this month? I took it this month. Still August. It was 117/63, and I was happy with it. Anyone who tells the truth is negative. Apparently, I've worked in a hospital 18 years. They run a medical mafia. There's a beer mafia. There's a whiskey mafia. There's a medical mafia. And there's a politics mafia. And anybody who disagrees is an obvious, well, let's be honest, a Hitler supporter. And they hate all minority groups, and they are very dangerous. And I think we agree with that. Even though the person might have never done anything in their whole life to anyone except maybe donate to charity and rescue somebody when their car went into a canal, but it doesn't matter. Late good morning, Ron, says the Whiskey Scout. Late good morning to you, Whiskey Scout. Well, I got to tell you, you might have missed the beginning, which was fabulous, I have to admit. And I'm not tooting my own horn. Necessarily. But it's Chivas Regal 12. I'm finished with it, thankfully. It got beaten so bad by Dewar's. Now, Dewar's is supposed to be a cheaper brand. Well, maybe so. It is a cheaper brand. It's $12 cheaper for this big bottle. But Dewar's killed it, beat it, smacked it around, insulted it, denigrated it, lambasted it, swashbuckled it, Errol Flynned it, and Bela Lugosi'd it. And it was terrible, horrible. You know, history shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man. I guessed it correct on Aroma only, and that is sad and embarrassing. I'm sorry, Chivas Regal. The next one I plan to buy is the 13-year age, the Chivas Regal Extra. It's age an extra year. Ooh, we can't wait for that. And they sponsor soccer teams, And I've watched, man, if you had $1 for every hour of soccer I watched in my life, you probably have at least $3 or $4. Check out the Bulldog, Eric Dieters, a massive lawsuit that my niece is involved in against 50 hospitals. What? No surprise there. The BOC quote was nice. Oh, Blue Oyster Cult. But you see, Blue Oyster Cult's quote was from another quote. You see, that was they stole that from a movie, a 1954 movie. That's right. That was a direct quote from a movie where the scientist said, history shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man. And can anybody guess the movie? Can anybody guess the movie? I'll give you a hint. The creature was on an island and it was causing havoc, but it was bored, so it wanted to go to a much bigger island. I did not know that. Yes, that's right. But they used an ingenious machine to kill the creature. They used a deoxinization machine. It was a machine they put in the water and it sucked all the oxygen out of the water. And it killed the creature. And it was just a skeleton at the end of the movie, just a skeleton. And you say, oh, thank goodness we've been saved. There's only one little problem. Only one little trivial problem. There was more than one creature. Oh, well. And the creature returned 2 years later in a counterattack, fought a huge turtle-shaped, spiked-backed monster at an oil refinery, of all places, and killed the monster. And there was obviously more than one of those because it came back again. And then this creature was buried in ice in the North Pacific Ocean, and people said, woof, we survived. There was only one little problem with that. October 1st is when several thousand nurses will be fired if they aren't vaccinated. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah, that's sad, but that's imperialism and National Socialism for you. Let's go, Dewars. Let's not play any games here, says Kevin Johnson. Well, we're not playing games. Dewars exacerbated the contest. It was a beatdown of epic proportions. Godzilla, you say, Gojira. Yes, because the monster was the creature was buried in ice. And for some inexplicable reason, everybody forgot about it. They said, it buried in ice. It gone forever. Well, just a few years later, 1962, a United Nations submarine was just traveling along and was attacked by the creature, which began to burst from the ice in which it had been buried. That's a very dramatic scene from a historical record that when the creature began to break from the ice. The most amazing thing is that everyone was surprised by this. They were shocked. Godzilla! And then the United Nations people said, oh, right. The great Imperial Japanese Air Force buried him in ice in 1956. And we had forgotten about that for some bizarre reason. Even though the Rodans had attacked Japan in 1956, the same year, in living color. And both died in a volcano, very sad. Cried like a baby. But there must have been a third Rodan because he showed up, sure enough, right on the screen to fight Mothra. But it was strange because, to fight King Ghidorah, excuse me. But it's very strange that they would have forgotten that. But anyway, didn't matter because they defeated this terrible creature when he rolled down the hill, defeated by King Kong. And he disappeared into the ocean, dead forever, gone, thankfully. Whew, we ain't forgetting about this. But oddly enough, they did forget about it. In 1964, only 2 short years later, they found a huge egg on the beach. They said, what is this huge egg? It looks eerily similar to the exact same egg that appeared in 1960, which hatched a caterpillar, which turned into a huge moth. But what is this egg, which looks eerily identical? And the news media was saying, oh, what is this egg? And then they detected an abnormally high level of radioactivity on that same beach. And the people said, what could it be? The Geiger counter was just, it was just going off. You know, click, 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 click. And they said, what could this be on the beach? Which is very coincidentally right next to the egg. Strange how that happens. I mean, Japan has a very huge shoreline. But for some bizarre reason, during a storm, this egg just washed up right next to where they were detecting an astronomically and astonishingly large level of radiation. Well, wouldn't you know it, the creature that disappeared into the ocean in 1962 came bursting out of the sand. He wasn't dead. He had simply been, or she, he, she, whatever, had simply been asleep for 2 years. And then the creature continued to do all sorts of things in Japan, but then slowly, the creature slowly, like this cat I'm trying to tame, the creature slowly domesticated and became a very loving, puppy-eyed, roly-poly, friendly hero of Japan. And then this creature, which initially had murdered people for no reason, began to defend the country against all sorts of invaders, whether they were giant lobsters, giant cat-like monsters that were blue with orange hair, strange creatures with buzzsaw bellies, giant cockroaches, creatures from the sea of all sorts. And then at the end of the battles, children would say, "Bye, Godzilla, bye." It was amazing. I just can't. Japan is a fascinating country, and I think the thing I admire